Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to talk about the magic that turns that expensive box of electronics on your desk into something you can actually use for work, for creativity, or just for fun. Yep, we're talking about application software, the programs you and I use every single day.
Think about it for a second. The device you're on right now is just a bunch of plastic, metal, and glass. So what is it that brings it to life? What's the secret sauce that makes it do stuff?
Well, that's where software comes in. At its heart, it's just a set of instructions. It's like the brain of the machine, telling all those physical components what to do and when to do it.
But software is a pretty big word. It's really broken down into two main categories. Today, we're focusing on the one you know and love, application software. These are the programs you actually see, the ones you click on and type into.
So here's the best way to think about it. You've got system software, that's the deep down stuff, the engine, your operating system like Windows or Mac OS that just makes the computer run, and then on top of that, you have application software, or apps. These are the tools you choose to install to get specific things done.
All right, so we know what it is, but how does this stuff actually get from a developer's computer onto your screen? The way we do this has changed a lot over the years.
Yeah, remember buying software in a big box at a store? Those days are pretty much over. Now you can download it right from a website, you can go to an app store, or, and this is a huge one now, you just access it through your web browser. This is often called software as a service, and it's usually paid for with a subscription.
And getting that software up and running is usually a pretty simple three-step dance. First, you just double-check that your computer can actually handle it. Second, you run the installer program. And third, and trust me, this last one is super important, you keep it updated. Those updates, or patches, are crucial for security and getting new features.
Okay, you've downloaded it, you've installed it, but before you can finally use it, there's always that one last hurdle, right? That giant wall of text you have to agree to. Let's talk about what you're actually agreeing to.
Oh yeah, this screen. We've all been there. We just scroll to the bottom and click I agree without even thinking about it, right? But what you're clicking on is actually a pretty big deal. It defines your entire relationship with that piece of software.
Well, that wall of text has a name. It's called an End User License Agreement, or EULA for short. And it's not just some friendly suggestion, it's a real, legally binding contract between you and the company who made the app.
That contract lays out all the rules. And here's the biggest shocker for most people. You're not actually buying the software. You're just licensing it. Basically, you're renting the right to use it. The EULA also spells out things like how many computers you can install it on, and what the company does, or maybe, more importantly, doesn't promise it'll do.
All right, enough of the legal stuff. Let's get to the fun part and look at the actual software that makes up the digital toolbox for pretty much everybody these days.
First up in our digital toolbox, we've got the absolute workhorse, the word processor. Think of it as your digital pen and paper, but way more powerful.
Think about it. From crafting that perfect resume for a job application to writing a huge research paper or even just jotting down notes in class, programs like Microsoft Word or Google Docs have totally changed how we work with text.
Next, let's talk about the master of numbers, the king of the grid, spreadsheet software. Its basic job is to do calculations, but its real power is in helping us see patterns in a whole mess of data.
And that's the real magic of something like Excel, isn't it? You can use it for a simple personal budget, or you can use it to track a company's massive inventory. It takes a jumble of raw numbers and turns them into actual, useful insights.
And the third pillar of this everyday toolbox is presentation software. This is your digital stage, the place where you get to share your ideas with the world. But having the tool and using it well, that's two different things.
Because look, the goal isn't just to throw information on a screen, it's to tell a compelling story. The best presentations use these simple rules: strong images, clear text, no crazy animations, to make sure the message is the star of the show, not the software's flashy effects.
Okay, so we've covered the big three that almost everyone uses. But beyond that everyday toolbox, there's a whole universe of specialized software out there, built for just about any job or hobby you can imagine.
You see this really clearly in the business world. A small local shop might use some straightforward accounting software to manage its finances. But then you have a huge architecture firm using super specialized CAD programs to design entire buildings in 3D.
And this isn't just for work. Not at all. This specialization has exploded into every corner of our personal lives.
from our creative hobbies to how we learn new things.
I mean, just think about it for a second. You've got powerful multimedia software for editing photos and videos. You've got educational apps to help you prep for a test. You've got reference tools to map out your family tree. And of course, a gazillion games for entertainment. Seriously, if you can think of it, there's probably an app for it. So what's the big takeaway here? Application software is the collection of tools that make our hardware truly useful. And understanding these tools helps us get the most out of our digital lives. But that leaves us with a pretty interesting question for the future. As more and more of our software becomes a monthly subscription, what does it really mean to own the digital tools we depend on every single day?